Hello everyone and welcome to another video. As you can see behind me, I have a bunch of furniture designs for you all. So we're gonna go ahead and check them out right away. And we're gonna go through the different categories I have made for them. This is just to give you guys some ideas on what to build when you're doing interiors, exteriors, etc. But it's just some ideas to get your mind going. So first we're starting off with the chairs category. We have quite a bit of chairs to go through, so I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible. But the first chair we have here is the basic chair. You see this in basically all designs and stuff. You just put down a stair and two signs. This one is a bit of an upgrade from it. I see this as like a dining room table, I'd say. But basically what you do here, you put down a chair, two signs, and at the back you got two trapdoors and you flip them up like this. This one is more for bars and stuff, if you want to make like a little bar. This is a brewing stand, and then you put a slab on top of it and you surround it with signs, and you get a higher up chair. This one over here is a 2-block wide chair. I don't know what you would use this for, but basically if you go like this, you get a nice 1-block gap in the center, and not only that, but it does look like armrests on both sides. But this is for if you want a 2-block chair. And here's a different variation of it. You could just put some stairs on top, and you can use any blocks for this, as long as it just suits the palette of the block. You don't have to use the ones I'm using specifically. This is, like I said many times, just to give you guys some inspiration. Anyways, this is another bar stool, I'd say, but it can also be a high chair that you have for like a higher up table. But this one is just a stair on top of a fence with two signs, nothing at the back. And this one here is what I'd say a floor chair, because it's pretty small, isn't it? But basically what you do is put down trapdoors on the floor, and then you put trapdoors along the trapdoors, kind of like this. As you can see, I lined it up so it would place right on the back of the trapdoors, and you just kind of surround it with that, and you get yourself a nice floor couch chair thing. I'm not really sure what to call it, to be honest. But anyways, this one is more for modern houses here. This is a nice little couch that you can just chill on. And here we have a bigger version of that couch, but of course you can have a different variation of it and just not include this part, because some couches are like that in modern style, but I thought it was cool to just show this. Here's another sofa I use with court stairs, just to go like this, and then you have the slabs in the middle, or else it'll just look like that. This works as well, but sometimes it's just better to have a nice solid couch and to make it look more realistic. And you can do all those fancy shenanigans and stuff with the banners as pillows and all that complicated stuff, but I cannot do that myself. This one is, well, it's a log. Have you ever been camping and you had to sit on a log? Well, this is the exact Minecraft duplicate of it. And this one is it's a pillow, basically, because in Japanese culture they do sit on the floor, so usually they do have pillows and stuff like you see in anime. So I thought maybe this could be used as a chair as well. And this is a long chair. It's used for the beach, stuff like that. You can put it on your balconies, you can put it near your pool, in a house, you can put it anywhere you want. And I went a bit outside the box with this one, but you never know when you'll need a swing chair, you know? You never know. So there you go. That's the swing chair. Anyways, let's move on to the next section. Alright, this next section is the beds. Now, there's not much in this section, but it's enough to like give you ideas at least. So what I did with the first one is I placed 2 beds down and I just put trapdoors on each side. It kind of looks like the boards that are usually on beds. This one, I surrounded it by jungle trapdoors to make it look like a cradle that you would put your baby in. This one is a more custom looking bed. It's for if you want more realistic looking ones instead of these ones over here. But it's for like if you want to build on a more bigger scale as well. So here's one variation of it where I just use wool and stuff. And the next variation is where I add some red concrete powder. And as you can see, I'm using a trick with the snow where I lower and upper the pillows a bit. And the same goes for the carpet, where I could just rise it up a bit so it looks like it's wrinkles in the bed covers. Because, you know, the bed covers, when you like put it flat, isn't always straight. This one is more for like fancy looking blankets, so you could use the glazed terracotta for that. And it's just another variation of these 3 beds I made here. This one is a bit unique. So if we get on it and we fly up, it has slime blocks underneath. So as you can see, I covered them by trapdoors, and you just put carpet on top and you get a nice bouncy bed that you can bounce around in. And the same trick goes for the snow here. Over here we get a more complex bed. I thought I would just show you that you can put signs on the side and you can make it 3 blocks wide. You can even add some glazed terracotta to the mix of this madness, whatever this is. I don't really know, but it does work for the bed, because, you know, some areas may not be the same as others, and there's more textures in the bed usually than just, you know, one simple color like that. Anyways, this one is a more simple one. So you can see we get, instead of using the trapdoor on this one, we use the sign and then a trapdoor at the back. This one is a more modern, futuristic design I came up with. I just kind of don't really know what I did here, but basic gist of it is that I used a weird design with quartz slabs and stuff, and I surrounded it by quartz slabs. Same goes for the other beds that are over there. But I used carpet instead, because I didn't want the snow to melt from these pillars. And yeah, you basically just surround it with quartz slabs and stuff, and then you can put end rods as your pillars, so it holds up the support of the bed. Now this one is kind of similar, but it's more of a medieval style or vintage style bed. As you can see, everything is the same as the other one, basically, but it's more simplified. And you can always add a touch of doing banners so it looks like curtains hanging from the bed. But anyways, this is just to give you an idea of what to do for your beds in Minecraft. Now, let's move on to the lights section. So for the lights, the first one I have is a dragon egg, as you can see here. And just don't right click on it like I did. Anyways, so basically what you do is you just place a dragon light egg, shift, and place a quartz pillar on top of it. And it looks like a really unique shaped lamp that you'd see in modern builds. Same goes for this one. It's with the end rod and glass instead, but it does look good in modern builds as well. This is just a taller version of the lamp, as you can see here. And then these ones are more for like if you want things to hang down from the ceiling from like a large room. You can kind of just put lanterns and chains together and stuff. And then as you can see from like a certain angles, it really does look like it's all together and just hanging. And of course, if you want a more fantasy style with things, you can go with the floating lanterns all around, you know, stuff like that. Or you could put down barrier blocks and do the same thing with torches. Now, what we have here is a crystal chandelier. It's the same concept of this one, but you just do this and then you put end rods on the bottom of them. But then you can also do the same thing, but remove that bottom block and all the end rods and just put torches, like a classic Minecraft thing, you know. You see that a lot in buildings. Now, one thing that is completely underrated to me is the usage of beacons in Minecraft. So as you can see here, we have a beacon lamp. It's not looking so well at the moment. It's adjusted a bit, so it actually kind of looks like a lamp, kind of. But beacons are a good usage of lamps in Minecraft, at least in my opinion, because you can do so many things. That you can even make this weird windmill thing. What is it called again? Not a windmill. What? Ceiling fan. Yes, you can make a ceiling fan out of it. I lost my brain cells for a second, but yeah, it's really cool. And if you want to go with a more modern approach, you can make some like lights on the ceiling with end rods, kind of like that. And that's really all the ideas I had for lighting. There's nothing much I could think of besides this. So yeah, I did hope you get some ideas from this. Next up we got tables. This one is the most basic tables. You just make it out of slabs, kind of like so. And then this one is the same, but you make it bigger so it looks like a desk. So you can put like a chair here, and then you can do your work, you know? This one is more a modern version of it. You just place down some glass panes and carpets on top of it. This one is a bit unique and has in like the feature it uses. So as you can see, 2 dark oak fences do connect, and 2 of the nether fences connect. But what if you did it diagonally from one another? It gives you this effect, which you can put a carpet on top of or a slab, and then it gives you some nice legs that are separated. And here is more vintage dining room table sort of look that you see in murder mysteries mainly. But as you can see, it does work, and then you can just do this until the candles come out. Then we can put candles on the end rods. For now, we're gonna just live with the torches. And this one is a double trapdoor table. You place some slabs, you place a full block in the middle. I think that's a full block. Yeah, you place a full block in the middle, and then you just do double trapdoors all along the side of it. And they will give you this sort of thick table look. I do think it's really cool. This one is just basic scaffolding with carpet on it. So it's good for, like, I'd say outside. I'm not too sure where else to put it. But this one is a more scattered table. And as you can see, I'm using string in order to keep the table up, besides using the fence posts, because sometimes you just want a wider table and not all these fences in between it, and you kind of just want it to float a bit. Now here we have a pool table. I know, original. And anyways, so under here we have string as well, and we're applying the same concept for this one basically, but we're putting signs as well. Excuse me for the alarms, my window's open. Anyways, this one is more for like the cafeteria, if you want to sit with your friends. This one's like a nice big table where you can put a lot of seats around. And this one is like a smaller variation of that with just slabs on the side like this. And for the last one over here, we're just using lecterns to make a desk. So it's just a bit higher up, and we put slabs on top of the lecterns. So yeah, that's all we have for tables, and next up is going to be the plants that we have. Now, first thing for plant things that you can put in interiors, not just exteriors. This one, you just put some scaffolding and it looks like a little shelf that you have, and you just put a flower pot and fern in it, and as you can see, it does give up a great effect of being like a little shelf with just a pot of plant on top of it. This is more if you're mixing these blocks in, but you can put leaves on top of a dead bush like this, and it will give you a little tree thing. And then this is more of the potted ones, where as you can see, it uses the mechanics of having this filled all the way up to the top of the cauldron, where it has like this little bone meal thing on it. And it just gives that extra effect of being alive, because in some plants, they do have a fertilizer like that in it. And this one is just the more modern looking one of it, which is the one with the cauldron. And this one is a hanging plant that I made. I know, very nice, as you can see. And this one is also a hanging plant, but just using a flower pot instead of a leaf block, signs, and slab. And over here we have been using green concrete powder, some leaves and vines to make a nice hedge, to make some nice hedges, I should say. And then here is just a simple bush you can make. You can make it with any leaves. You can just make it as round as possible and just put down some spruce fences, and then it will just put itself together, and it really does look like some bushes that you see in like the wild or something. But anyways, we're getting to the last part of this video, which is going to be the miscellaneous items. Now, I know you guys have seen this everywhere. I have seen it everywhere, but I thought I just added in a video just in case someone didn't know about it. But this is a grandfather clock that is made in Minecraft. You could just surround it with trapdoors, put a stair down, put 2 blocks at the back, stuff like that. Put a block on top of the bell, put an item frame with the thing. You can make it invisible, but I don't know how to do that. But then you're surrounded by trapdoors, and it all puts itself together. This one is a double wide bookshelf that I have. As you can see, we use the usage of looms here, so it looks like empty bookshelves. But basically what I just did double stairs and then put it on top as well. Put the whole thing like that, and then I just divided it and put the bookshelves in. Here we have a crystal that you'd see in like RPGs or even fantasy related things. It has a really cool effect to it, I think. But from far away, it looks really, really cool. And when you're up close, it still looks cool, but you can kind of see like what it's made out of. But the concept is this is like, if you ever want to use it in like, I don't know, like more fantasy looking worlds, it is up for grab. And I use this a lot in my builds. I don't know if you've seen the build competition videos, but this was in it. I think it was the exact one actually that was in it. But I didn't put like a light source inside, so it didn't glow or illuminate. But anyways, moving on, we have a weird looking lamp. I'm not really sure what this is, but it does look cool in general, especially from this angle. But if you come over here, you can see it can fit into the light category, but it's a bit too odd for that in my opinion, so I just put it here instead. Over here, I just wanted to show you guys that if you have like a plain room or anything, I would just want to put something in it, or like just a decoration in it, just put a trapdoor and put something behind the trapdoor, like a weird block, and then it just pops out and it really just adds to the room in general. Over here we have the couch I've made in the other one, but it's made out of mushroom stems, which actually looks really nice in mushroom stems, some couches. But what I have here is kind of a room divider, as you can see. I made it with the crimson trapdoors, and I think these are like the best ones for the room dividers, because I don't know, they have like these straight lines to them, which makes them so cool to look at. So I would love to see any designs with this in it, especially a modern house. I feel like it would just suit so well. Anyways, here's some shelves you can make out of trapdoors, and you can put anything on top of them really. Like you can put a flower pot, you can put head, etc., etc. This is something you'd see in schools. It's a locker. I decided I'd put something that is somewhat related to school, so like, yeah. This is just a simple locker design. All that's really in here is a stair. I was thinking of putting some custom heads, but that took too much work. It's like I need to get a command block, bring this stuff in, yada yada. But you can kind of see how it's formed based on the look of it. But it does actually work in schools. I used this in one of my builds, and I found it somewhere. But anyways, for this one, it's just a kitchen cabinet. You can use item frames or carpets to make it look like handles. You can turn the item frames invisible too, but I just don't know how to. And over here we have an oven. As you can see, it's with a furnace and a what rail is this? Detector rail, yes. Detector rail on top. Put some blocks above it, surrounded by stairs. Put 2 blocks on the side, and the campfire just adds the touch of the smoke. And it really does make it look so cool. And like the oven is setting itself on fire. Now this is kind of similar to the divider we have over there, but it's more for an outside setting. So you can see here we have some vines covering the warped trapdoor. And I just think this one just looks better in an outside setting in general. But it does actually work quite a bit for a divider in like a backyard or anything. This here is a shelf, and it's made from item frames, signs, and as you can see in the item frame, it's an anvil, and yeah, it just makes it look like there's drawer handles on it, and I think it's a really cool idea. This one is a target. You put a target block on a fence surrounded by trapdoors, and you got yourself a little target that you can do in like an archery dojo or whatever. And then here we have some like weird things that you can put bookshelves in, or any block really. You could just make it solid and just make it a wall decoration, but anything you want. It's made out of quartz stairs and slabs, and it kind of has like a weird pattern to it. It's kind of hard to explain how to build it, but yeah. Here we have a TV. This is just used with a painting, and then for the speakers you put glass, a black stone button, and a bowl at the back, and you just have no blocks here, but they're muted because you cannot play them. But anyways, this is the last one I have. You've seen this in a video of mine before. We all have. But pool floaties. You can put these in your pool, and you can swim in them, or at least pretend to, and pretend you're not dying. But it's still cool to have, especially when it's these ones, 'cause it's so like small, and then you wouldn't expect yourself to fit in this, but and then it looks like you're floating in a pool if you do swim in it. But anyways, that's all the designs I have for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this, and if you did, please leave a like on this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more of these building hacks and tricks. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a lovely day, everyone. Bye!